Alright, here we go with our first tech instructional. First thing we're going to look at is how exactly do we go about downloading and getting ready our Microsoft Office 365. So, first thing you're going to want to do is open up your web browser. If you're on a PC, it's probably going to be on Edge, maybe somewhere around here. And if you're on a Mac, you're going to want to use Safari or maybe Chrome is installed. Either way, let's open her up, and you might also find it down on the taskbar here. So, first thing you're going to want to do is, once your web browser is open, type in Download Microsoft 365 into the address bar at the top. That should search for it. Now, you're going to be looking for a particular link to find, and the one you're looking for will look like this. It has to have this icon on it, and it should say Download Microsoft Office 365 for Windows and Mac. So if you click on that, and you'll see a couple of options at the top, but we're going to scroll down, and there are two options. Depending on whether you're using a PC, select Windows, and if you're using a Mac, obviously go for the Mac OS. But download it, and you should see it pop up like so. Now you can go ahead and click that, and that's what we'll do next. But if for some reason you don't find that and you're on a PC, then come down here, click on the folder, and then find your downloads on the side. I'll maximize this so you can see it better. Click downloads, and you should see it. So one way or another, open her up, and then confirm that you do want to open up that file, which is going to get things ready for us. Now this is going to take a little bit of time, so while this is running, you can in fact work on something else, work ahead, if that's an option available to you. And this is exactly the screen you should be looking for. As I said, this is going to take a little bit of time, so we're going to wait for that, all right? All right, looks like everything is now done. So, to verify, if you go down to your search box here and you type in Word, you'll see that you now have it. The other ones you'll have would be Excel and PowerPoint, and this is exactly what you want. You want these apps all to be downloaded onto your device instead of having to access them online. So just to check, let's go ahead and open up Word. And we can go ahead and start with a blank document. And you'll see that you look like you're good to go. So if you see this screen pop up, you're probably going to have to adjust something. If you're already signed in as somebody that is not your Gibault Hawks account, you can go ahead and change that and put in your Gibault Hawks email. And your password. Depending on if you have the Authenticator app ready and going, you might get this screen or you might just get in. Either way, handle that. And you do want to be signed in to all apps, if at all possible. Another way you can do this is go to File, and then Account, and then if you need to sign out or switch account, then you can sign in again with your Gibault Hawks if you need to. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is make sure that your OneDrive is ready and practice using it a little bit. Now, OneDrive is a resource that's going to allow you to access all of your school files from wherever you are that you have an internet connection. So, first thing you're going to want to do is go down to search, type in OneDrive, and it should pop right up. If for some reason your OneDrive does not appear, it's completely missing, then we're going to have to re-download it. So we'll go back to our web browser and we will download OneDrive. And if that is the case, you will see it show up, or you can click here. And once you're doing that, you will simply follow the same directions as you did when you downloaded your Office suite, Microsoft 365. So you'll just click it, and then it'll show up here. Once it's done, go ahead and open it up, follow all of the prompts, and you'll be able to sign in. Now, it might look something similar to this. There's probably going to be less in yours. But what you're going to want to do next is right-click OneDrive on the left, go to OneDrive, and then go to Settings. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Account and check. Now, as you can see here, I've got a Gmail set up, and that is not what we want. We want it to be with our Gibault Hawks. Yours could very well look like something like this. So if it does, you're going to want to unlink. If it already says your email address at Gibault Hawks, leave it alone, skip this step. Well, we're going to unlink this one. And then we're going to go back to OneDrive. And we're going to sign in with our proper account. You may also notice that there could be a cloud down here on the right hand side. If there is, then you can access it from there as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. Once again, if you have an authenticator set up, you may have to do this, or it might just let you in. So once again, we'll sign in on all apps like before. All right, so now everything is ready to go. All right, you can go through these if you want. Gives you an idea of what OneDrive can do for you. But yours is going to look a little more bare than this, and that's fine. But what we're going to do now is get all of your folders ready for your classes. Now there's two ways you can do this, so I'll show you both. We're going to create 7 folders that will be used for your classes. So first we'll go to New, and then hit Folder. First folder we'll create is for computer apps. Another way you could do this is if you right-click on the empty space, you can go to New, Folder, and do the same thing. So next we're going to create one for English. And then we'll create one for Math. Then we'll do it again for Science. Create one for Spanish. Then do one for Theology. And the last one will be for History. This should encompass every class that you will be going through right now this coming school year. So let's go ahead and X out of that once it's done. And the next thing we'll do is we'll open up Word. So once again, we can go down to our search bar, open it up, and we're going to practice knowing how to save to one of these folders. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I hear people saying is, well, I saved it in Word. No, that's not what happens. Word is just to make and edit your documents. It always has to save to some location on your computer. So, we're going to go ahead and create a test document. Once you're in Word and you want to save, we'll go to File, we'll go to Save As, and you may see the OneDrive already available here. That's great. If for some reason you don't, you can go to Browse and you can find it here, right there. In fact, that's probably what you want to do, because then you can select the folder we're going to do it in. But if you also see it here, then let's test by saving this to our Computer Apps folder. So you see it's available here. I'll save this as test.docx, and I'll save it. So, everything, as you can see, the title of the document is at the top now, which means it's saved. Now, if we close out of this completely, we would want to know how to find it again. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go back to our folder. We'll go to our OneDrive. And where do we save that? We saved it in Computer Apps. So if we open it up, there's our file. And there it is. That is exactly what we will do to use our OneDrive properly. So in the future, you will save any document, any file you need directly to whichever folder on your OneDrive is appropriate for each class. The next thing we're going to take a look at is how do we go about accessing Schoology. Now, Schoology is a web app, so there's no downloading involved. You'll always access it from the internet. First thing we'll do, we'll go to Edge, and then we will go to Gibault.schoology.com. You can go to just Schoology.com, but that will require you to go to an extra step by selecting your actual school. By doing this, it's already selected. And this will be the same login you did to access your Microsoft account. So, let's log in. And that is how you will get to Schoology. One other thing you should do. When you sign in, it might give you the option to save the password. If it does, go ahead and do that. But if it doesn't, there is a way to go around that. So, come over here to the three dots in the upper right-hand corner and go to Passwords. While they're there, you're going to add it, and once again, we'll put in Gibault.schoology.com, put in your username, and then put in the password and save it. Once you've done that, go back there. And now your password has already been included. Another thing you're going to want to do, it'll help if you log out to do this. Once you're on this screen from Gibault.schoology.com, add a bookmark. How do you do that? Come up here, click the star. When you're done, and you click on the star on the right-hand side, you will find that you have it bookmarked, and you can access it anytime. And the last thing we're going to look at is how do we go about accessing fax management. Fax is what you're going to be using to check on your grades and to communicate with your parents as well. So we'll go back to our web browser, and the website is faxmgt.com/login. From here, you're going to have to make a choice. Now, the one you're always going to want to choose is on the left-hand side, once you scroll down a little bit, called the Family Portal Login. Our district code is GCHS-IL. It doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase, but click Next. And then this part for your username will just be the first part of your email. You cannot put the rest of it in. The @ and JibaultHawks.com don't go there. But you should have the same password for this part. And we'll go ahead and see. This time we were offered to save the password, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And next time we try to log in, it will be that way. So this is where you're going to access everything. It's where you're going to put your lunch money in, all of that. I'm going to go ahead and log out, and you should too, and here's why. We're going to create another bookmark for you. So let's go back to what I said. We'll click the star, done, and over here now, we are ready to go. And because we were able to save the password, we have to put the district code back in, but that's pretty quick. Everything is saved and ready to go. But I also want to remind you, if for some reason you weren't given the option to save that password, we'll go to the dots, we'll go to passwords, and then you have to put in this site right here, https://accounts.renweb.com/account/login is what you'll have to type in, and then put in your password, and it will also be saved for you. One way or another, you want bookmarks for Schoology and Fax, and then you want to have both passwords saved.